Good morning, everybody. This is Chondra with Coffee with Chondra coming out of the Heartland. It is a beautiful Monday morning, and I just want to say good morning and hello to everyone. And I want all of you to have success. I have been listening to an audio. It's actually called The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. And Napoleon Hill was way ahead of his time. He lived in the 1920s. So he was really a pioneer in his field. And the audio that I've been listening to, there are a bunch out there. And there are some on YouTube. There are different ones that you can listen to. But the one I started listening to just recently is called The Law of Success. It's actually a course that he did in he wrote it in 1925, but it was published in 1928. And if anyone has heard of Andrew Carnegie, yeah, he was very, very important in the New England area. Carnegie Hall, that family was very powerful, very wealthy. So Andrew Carnegie actually commissioned Napoleon Hill to do this whole course. It's a 15-book course. And each course has its own name. Each section is about something a little bit different. But what I've been listening to so far is that it's really interesting. I've never thought of your mind working on a really basic level down to the electrons. Electrons are a component of the world that we can't even see. Morning, Tracy. It is very nice and sunny. I had started doing this, and then the sun just keeps coming up brighter and brighter. So I might be blind by the end of this. But I'm talking about Napoleon Hill and his whole process in going through writing The Law of Success, because he didn't always have an easy road in doing this, as many pioneers do not. But he in studying this felt that your thought process begins at that molecular level, and specifically down to the electrons, a piece of matter that we cannot even see. It's the positive and negative combination of electrons. I should move so I could actually see. You go like this. So the point in his speaking about electrons is that all thought is energy. And I thought this was really interesting, because if you think about really effective leaders, people are drawn to them. They don't know why, but they definitely bring people to them. And it's the same in a first, what am I trying to think of? Love at first sight or hate at first sight. You haven't even exchanged words, and there's that really strong feeling for that other person. And he is saying it is because of that chemical reaction. Because, like I said, you haven't even spoken yet, and there's that huge connection. And in the word mastermind came about in this study, and it was two or more minds combined to create a larger consciousness or a larger thought process. So in order for that mastermind to work, one mind cannot be positive and one mind cannot, combined with that negative. They don't mesh together. It has to be that positive collaboration. We're just getting to really be popular in the use of the word collaboration, and he wrote this book in 1925. That's why I'm saying he was way ahead of his time. So it's really, really fascinating to me. So he talks about the mastermind and how that it has to be a positive collaboration mentally. And if you think about some of the really powerful people in history, think of Napoleon Bonaparte. People followed him like crazy. They told him, whatever he said what to do, they would follow him. He definitely had that vibration mentally, or that chemistry that drew people to him. And I think everyone has had that feeling, oh, mentally run down. You just not quite there. You're foggy. And you can go to a retreat, whether it's just educational or if it's religious or spiritual. You come out feeling revitalized. And why is that? And I was having this realization as I was listening to this morning, because your minds are having, combining at that basic level and creating that chemistry to have that one overall mastermind. And it's a positive all coming together. I know I'm getting kind of deep on a Monday morning, but it was really fascinating. And the interesting thing too is you'll see leaders emerge, and particular leaders are very charismatic. They draw people to them. And if that one link is missing, if that leader is no longer part of that equation, it's not the same mastermind type situation. It has to have that key or that component. Good morning, Holly. Good morning, Renee. So if that leader is removed, you've changed the entire equation. So it really does matter who is plugged into that. And really, why am I even listening to this? Why am I interested? Well, this is just basic human interaction, which I think is fascinating anyway. But as far as being in sales, it's really important. And you're like, Chondra, you're not a salesperson. We are all salespeople. I don't care what you do, you're in sales. If you're a 5-year-old, you're in sales because you're trying to get your parent to change the time of your bedtime, trying to sell you on that. Everyone is in sales. So how can we do that more effectively? How can we be on that vibrational wavelength and even understand it? Because once you understand how things work, it's no longer a mystery and it's not just left to chance. You can control that. I was talking to a bunch of my cousins' kids and my nephews yesterday, and I said, what is the one thing you can control in life? There's only one thing, because every day is a crapshoot. You might walk out and walk in front of a bus and you're done. But what is the one thing that you can control? It's your own thoughts. So, and I think if you work on the one thing you can control, you're one step ahead. You might as well maximize that. So that's kind of why I'm listening to this. I think it's fascinating, and to think of, matter, whether it's concrete, I'm looking at concrete and plastic and steel, it's all these tiny little parts in a huge amount of vibrational frequency. That's what everything's made up of, is these little moving parts. So why would your thought process not be also made up of those vibrating minute parts? Why wouldn't it? I believe it is. So just thinking about that, and how can we apply that to our lives, and how can we work on that? How can we practice and become more skilled at using that? That is my end game. So we're all salespeople, and I will continue to listen to this, and I will share with you some of this really interesting information from Napoleon Hill, because I just love it. It's so interesting. Again, from almost 100 years ago, but it's still cutting edge information. Crazy. So I hope everybody has a great morning. Like, comment, share if you enjoyed my video, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.